First of all, I'm very proud of this committee in the way we've supported the United States military. And we've worked on both sides of the aisle, and we've worked on both sides of the dome. And the fact that this Appropriations Committee and this subcommittee, we were able to take the Murray-Ryan budget and actually turn it into a real Appropriations Committee. So I'm sure that for you, it was important, all of you, that it gave you two things. It gave you certainty, and it canceled sequester, which has been a source of heartburn to the leadership and your ability to turn. We hope to be able to, again, do this for fiscal 15. We're moving in a very brisk way to meet our obligations. What we're going to want to talk with you as we move through our process, supporting the President's goals, the outline of your excellent testimony today, is if we continue this momentum of 14 and 15, how could it get derailed or diluted in fiscal 16 if we go back to sequester? So we want you to continue to have these building blocks that you need. So that's just an overall statement. But again, we're going to continue the effort that's the hallmark of this subcommittee and so on, bipartisan, bicameral, to support our United States military. So this, though, gets to my question. We support your goals and the President's goals of the military having the best tools, the best ships, the best planes, and the technology. But it's only as good as the people, which takes me to the culture. Senator Durbin has raised the question of sexual assault. My concerns about this are well known. But I wonder what is being done by the leadership to get the entire Navy and Marine Corps ready for the new demography. You're going to have more women serving in combat roles. They were outlined in great detail in General Amos's testimony. You're going to have more women serving in more combat positions. You're going to have more openly gay members serving in the military. And we continue to have this issue of assault not only on women, but on men as well. So where does the culture come in terms of the training so that they then continue to be one of the most esteemed institutions in this country? The military is the most esteemed institution. General, I'm going to turn you, Secretary Mavis, and then to Admiral and our admirals and our generals. Do you see what, because the Durbin question, which is an excellent question, is about, and the women have worked on, what happens with victim assistance, prosecutorial reforms, great things. But those are after the fact. What do we do in terms of a culture that prevents these things from happening, where men and women in the military continue to respect other men and the women in the military, regardless of who they are, what they look like, or their personal affections?
That's the most important thing that we're trying to do, Senator. The changes that we have made in terms of how you treat shipmates with respect, how an attack such as sexual assault is an attack. It is a crime. It is not worthy of this military, and it has the ability to fray and undo a lot of the good things that the military has done. Very briefly, in terms of integrating women into the Navy, we have now opened up every single MOS and position in the Navy except for Special Forces, and that's not a decision that Navy gets to make. I was at Kings Bay, our submarine base. I asked there how the integration of women on submarines has gone, and the big news was there was absolutely no news. It was just a matter of course, and nobody saw anything even remotely remarkable or unusual about that. I think the same thing with the end of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and having gay, lesbian serving openly in the military seems to be, there's just has not been the feared or maybe even anticipated reaction to that. And I think that shows a change in the culture of our military.
Madam Chairwoman, we found that we do a pretty good job, and this is based on statistics of how people behave, what their conduct is, and our feedback when they enter the service. In other words, a recruit training center and at our A schools, the kids, based on how they perform, how they behave, they get it. But then they go out to sea, and we say, how do you refresh them? Because it's a relentless, continuing challenge to make sure that they understand what is expected of them and how we work together in character development and leadership development. So we've stood up, as you're well aware, at the Naval Academy. We have an ethical and leadership center, which has fed a part of our development of officers, both at the Academy and otherwise. And we need to continue that through through the career. So what we have is we have a leadership and character development center.
Excuse me, Admiral, I can see my colleagues are getting edgy. If we could keep the question or answer short, or maybe you need to submit this for the record. I'm very sensitive
Then
to the fact that there are 3 other senators that have to ask
I'll
questions.
summarize it. It's a continuum, ma'am, from E1 to E10, E9, O1 to O10, and I'll submit it for the record.
Thank you very much, Admiral. Senator Shelby.
Thank you.
All of it from the record.